Just close your eyes. Know the peace within.
You are the non-dual observer just now. You are already the non-dual. You are always the non-dual, and you are already the non-dual. Whatever perceived is in duality. In duality, a non-stop show is going on, and you are only observing whatever that happens, moves, and functions within duality. You are not the duality show. You are already the non-dual observer, the absolute awareness. You are observing the duality show. The show is not by you. The entire duality show is by the consciousness within you. Out of the light of consciousness only, the show goes on spontaneously. The entire show is by the play of the elements in the light of consciousness, and you only observe the duality show. This secret you never know, that you are the non-dual observer and observing the duality show, which is not you. But you are yet to know the observer in you, the non-dual reality in you. So you are continuously trapped by the duality show. Just now, how to know that the duality is not you and you are only the non-dual? How will you know? By stabilizing in the duality without knowing the non-dual stillness within you. You cannot know anything about your supreme state as long as you are stuck at the surface level identities show. Just now you are the observer. Unless you observe what is here, in your observation only everything is happening, everything is moving, and everything is functioning. You never know to observe silently, neither know you are the observer. So you are continuously deceived and trapped by the duality show, which is not you. Till you know the observer in you, you will be continuously trapped by the duality show. And where the duality show happens, but for your consciousness, only in your consciousness, the show happens just now. If you are not conscious, there's no such thing called world, galaxies, universe. Even space itself is missing, and you are no more conscious of yourself. So the entire movie, the entire drama, the entire show, entire dream show happens just now in your consciousness. First of all, you do not know that you are the observer. Then only you can observe silently and know what you are. Secondly, you don't even know that in your consciousness only the movie is going on spontaneously. Because you are never conscious of yourself. So in both the ways, you remain ignorant about yourself. You neither know that you are the constant observer beyond duality, nor know that in your consciousness only the anti-duality show is happening just now. So you are continuously deceived by the duality show to be real, and remain restless, tensed, and depressed. You will straight away dive inwardly, deeply, and abide in stillness, and get to know that whatever perceived is nothing but the reflection of the light, and there's no reality. The only solution is to go inward and settle inward and stabilize inward. But you never go inward. You want solution for all the unreal show. For the entire unreal show, you need solution. At the circumference level itself, you want to rectify this and that, not knowing that they all happen spontaneously out of the play by elements. Just now, I tell you that you are the non-dual observer. Just now. But you never know it. And in your consciousness only the show is also going on. That also you never know this. You assume as if the world is already there waiting for you, and you are very much late to the world. It's not so. Just now out of your consciousness only the world is happening. In your true state, in your original state, nothing has never happened to you, and you are in the absolute nectar state, unexplainable supreme state. But in the perceived duality show, you appear to struggle, you appear to remain tensed, depressed. Once you go inwardly, you will find out whatever perceived within duality show are not real, including all your tensions and worries and depressions. The solution is within, but you are searching it outside. You contain the medicine within, but you are searching it outside. The only medicine is to know that you are only consciousness at present, and closing eyes and knowing the peace within constantly. By closing eyes, you start observing the stillness within you just now. The same way with eyes open also you can observe the world silently and respond to the world whenever it is essential. So you remain unaffected by the duality show by abiding and settling in stillness. And your consciousness wakes up spontaneously and knows the non-dual reality about itself. So there are two ways to remain peaceful and relaxed. One is to be conscious of yourself. That is possible only by going inwardly. And consciousness is not the word, it is beyond words, and it is beyond identification. And your consciousness is prior to form, prior to duality. By remaining conscious of yourself, you remain utterly relaxed and peaceful inwardly, and nothing affects you outwardly. The more you relax inwardly, higher the possibility to observe silently. Through silent observation, beyond identification, beyond words, your consciousness wakes up totally and knows that it was only a dream show that was perceived through the duality level, and nothing has happened to itself, and knows that it is eternal, beyond duality, beyond birth and death. Now it knows that it is only the constant observer prior to duality, and it is ever present as non-dual. It is your consciousness which remains struggled at the duality level through personality identifications, and it is the same consciousness which stabilizes inwardly constantly, and it is the same consciousness which wakes up totally and knows that nothing has never happened to it. Imbibe these teachings deeply, then you will understand it is your consciousness which comes to know its presence as I amness. Your consciousness which wrongly identifies itself as a personality, and it is your consciousness which goes inward and stabilizes inward and settles inward, and it is your consciousness which wakes up totally and knows the deathlessness, the eternal nature, the ultimate unborn supreme reality about itself. So the entire duality show is only for your consciousness to realize itself, to know its ultimate potential beyond duality, beyond birth and death. So the duality show is needed to know your presence as I amness, and your consciousness should know that this I amness is only consciousness and not a person. But unknowingly it identifies itself as a person, with limitations, with certain labels, and it remains struggled continuously throughout the waking state till it becomes conscious of itself. It is your consciousness which identifies itself wrongly as a person at the personality level. After meeting a realized your consciousness stabilizes inwardly, settle inwardly, and knows the peace inwardly, constantly, and it is your consciousness which wakes up from the duality show and knows that nothing has never happened to it and it is ever present. There is no person here. So, the entire duality show begins only in your consciousness just now, but for your consciousness, there's no duality show. But your consciousness wrongly identifies itself as a form and it is trapped by the duality show to be real, to be real, to be real. Till it abides within and settles within and knows the light within and wakes up totally, you find out that there's nothing called birth or death. Your consciousness is already in the non-dual state. Only whatever observed as objects are within the duality show. You are constantly observing the show. And the show is by consciousness. Once you know the show is by consciousness only and not by you, then you remain unaffected. But you are yet to know what this consciousness is, how the consciousness happens, how the play happens within this consciousness. So till the consciousness knows itself, the play goes on. Once consciousness is conscious of itself, it is relieved from the perceived duality show as you are now. Just now, you are free from the show. With eyes closed, you remain relaxed. You are free from the perceived show. You are beyond space just now. You are in utter relaxation just now. Now you are free from the movie, from the object level show. First, you must know that you are only the observer. To know the observer in you, you must be conscious of yourself. To be conscious of yourself, you need not go anywhere and you need not make any effort. Just closing eyes is enough. The very easiest thing becomes toughest to you because you are yet to be conscious of yourself. Always know that you only observe. In your observation only the show goes on. But you are never conscious of yourself, so the movie appears to be more real, more real, more real, and you get trapped and trapped and trapped. So there are only two ways. First, to know that you only observe. Observing what? The duality show. The show by what? By the consciousness. What is this consciousness? It is your I amness consciousness. So the entire show is going on within your I-amness consciousness, and you only observe the show, and you are prior to show, and the show is in duality, and you are the non-dual observer. Once you understand these teachings deeply, you remain unaffected by the duality show. This teaching may look simple, but it contains the essence of everything. Just to listen deeply, it helps you to wake up and to observe silently. Nothing affects you. None of the duality show affects you, provided you know to observe silently. You are the observer. The observer is eternal, beyond birth and death, and you are ever present here. You contain the next state within you just now. Better wake up consciously and know that the entire show is only a duality show, and there's no reality within duality. Furthermore, know that you only observe. Nothing never happens to you. Just now, in your observation, the duality show goes on spontaneously. The show goes on at a very fastest speed. You can't make out which is which and what is what. You can only know that it is happening out of your consciousness at an unimaginable speed, at the highest speed. Once you understand that you only observe the entire duality show by your consciousness, then you remain unaffected. You remain cool, unbothered, and relaxed. Always. Nothing affects you. No duality show affects you. Just now, provided you know to observe silently. You are the constant observer. You are the eternal observer. You are the absolute observer. You will never know this. By not knowing that you are the observer, you are continuously deceived by the duality show. The show happens spontaneously. It is not you. In what way you are connected with the dream perceived in your deep sleep? Dream happens and dream moves and then dream disappears. Dream appears, happens and disappears. It is not you. How you are related to the dream? Tell me. How you are related to the dream? Is the dream real? But you are relating yourself. How? Through identifications, which is not you. You are not the identification. Unnecessarily you are troubling yourself through identification and remain worried. Once you stay beyond identification, beyond words, and observe silently the entire show, very easily you can wake up and know that you are already and always the non-dual observer. When are you going to know? That's my point. Truth is very simple. I cannot complicate and make you confused. I know what you are exactly and you are yet to know what you are exactly. That's all. Now I am expounding this knowledge to you because I know what you are originally and you are yet to wake up by the duality show. How will you wake up without observing silently? Unless you observe silently, waking is not possible. Not to observe silently. Just now you are that. You will know the duality is not you. Irrespective of the duality show, irrespective of the varieties of the duality show, you remain cool, unconcerned, unbothered, and utterly relaxed inwardly. Once you know the observer in you, my whole teaching is to make you aware of the observer in you. I am not telling any story here. I am indicating the observer in you. That's the only possibility to wake up totally from the duality show. You are already that and always that. Better wake up consciously and know that you are not the duality show, but the eternal observer. Will you?